After so many years in business, it becomes a little easy flowing. So let's say, for instance, if you're in business and you lose your momentum, it's really easier to gain it back because business is like a cycle sometimes. And once you get the foundation together, it may be different events that happen, or it may be different times and different things going on, different trends are out there. But overall, your business will survive and it can survive. And so I want you to know this, that you just still have to, like I said, every day you have to really know what's going on, making some goals, seeing what's going on, seeing how you're making business and money in your business, seeing what's going on. Let me tell you, some of the things that a lot of people don't think about is kind of like maybe the weather or what season it is, because if you do know that each part of the year you would have to get your each part of the seasons, you would have to get your, let me get this out of the way. We don't want this in the video. Unconditional. you know, in the growth of your business, you want to go, like you said, you're going through the different seasons. Your seasons is going to be holidays is coming up. Your season for your business may fit one season better than the other, and you really have to give it an account of what's really going on. And sometimes the weather can affect your business. Sometimes catastrophic events can affect your business, like hurricanes, storms of that nature, things of that nature. All kind of things can affect how you do in business. And then that's why it's so important to know every day what's going on in your business, how much money you're making, what is it costing you for this, what is it costing you for that, knowing what's going on in the local news, the events that is happening, knowing what's going on in the government, because that makes a lot of difference too. I was listening at a podcast not too long ago, and one guy was in the solar business. So solar, because the president changed a lot of things. They kind of like got rid of the solar a few years, when he came into presidency. And so a lot of those companies had to pivot, they had to shift. But had they not been aware of what was going on in the government, what's going on in events, their businesses would have probably went under, and they would have lost everything. But they pivoted a little bit because they pivoted because they knew what was about to happen, what was going to go, what was about to go on. And so they decided to go ahead and put in and keep another area of their business alive and well. And then they shift from the solar into something else dealing with solar, but they were able to shift and make that pivot in their business. And so that's very important too, to know what's going on. Let's say, for instance, if you got a government in your business, you are into the government contracting portion. Now, there are so many government contracts, state and federal, that if you're signed up with both of them, you still can choose one. You don't have to really stick with one industry, or, in the same sector. Say, for instance, you was in with solar with the government and things of that nature, then you can always pivot to something else, because um, there's so many vendor things that the government need. There's so many vendors that they need in order to be able to, function, and you'll still be okay there. But you have to know what's going on, okay? And keep abreast of what's going on. And that way, as your business is, like I said, you can keep that momentum going in your business, and then you just stay attentive. You always keep focused on your business and what's going on in the business, okay? And so we get down and we talk deeply about more of it in the 90-day intensive. If you want to be a part of the next one, make sure you click the link and make sure you get on the waiting list. So when I get ready to drop that class, I'm gonna give a special first, and then you can be a part of that 90-day intensive. So you can be out here keeping your momentum going in your business. Okay. And see you later. Bye. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.